Hi everyone, so today I am going to be teaching you a little bit more about Google Sites. So I'm starting off on my Google homepage and I am logged into my Google account. I'm going to go to my app switcher and I'm going to find the Google Sites icon. I can click on this or I can also go to sites.google.com. So right now it has brought me up to the old Google Sites.com. But I want to go into the new one. So I'm going to go over here to my left-hand side where it says New Google Sites, and I'm going to launch that website instead. So this is my site's homepage, and you can tell that I've had a recent site. I've already created a classroom site, but I want to create a new one. So I'm going to go down into my bottom right corner to this plus button, and I'm going to create a new site. So once it loads, it's going to bring up just a blank website homepage. And I'm going to be able to create on my website anything that I want to insert in it, anything that I want to make. So here's my homepage. And the first thing I want to do is create a page title. So I'm going to make this another classroom site. So I have my page title done. Notice up here in the corner, it says enter site name. This can be the same as my page title, but it doesn't have to be. I'm going to make it the same. Another thing I can do is I can add a logo. So this is just a little image that's going to be with my site name. I'm going to go ahead and find a little pineapple image to put as my logo. And it's going to upload it right there by my site name. It's also suggesting a color theme for me to change, and it'll change all the different background colors. If I don't like those colors that it's suggesting for me to use, I can go over to my Themes tab, and it automatically pulls it up for me. But I can change the style of what my homepage is going to look like in the header. I can also change the different color that's behind it. And I can change the font style. So this is just changing the header of my website. I haven't started building the sections of my webpage just yet. Okay, so the first thing that I want to point you to is the 3 tabs up here across the top. This little bar on my right-hand side is really going to show me all the different things that I can insert in my pages and my themes. So across the top there's themes, and this is what we were just looking at when we were changing the background of the heading. Pages is going to be the next tab, and it's going to be any page that I have. So first, this is just my home page, but maybe I want to add another link page to my site. My insert button is the biggest thing where I can insert anything into. I can insert a text box, an image, embed some kind of website, or put something from my drive in there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a text box. So I'm in my insert tab, and I'm going to click a text box. What it has done is down below my header, it has created a section for me. In this section, I can type in it. I can change the font, and I can center it how I would like. When I'm hovering over my section, I notice on the side that I can change my section background, so I can change what it looks like behind that text. I can duplicate it so it can make 2 sections, or I can also delete it if I decide I don't want that section. So inserting a text box, I go to Insert and then Text Box. Inserting an image, I'm going to stay again under that Insert tab, go to Images. You can upload or select something from your drive. So I'm just going to do the same thing, and I'll insert that little pineapple image again. I can also make it bigger, make it smaller, crop it, uncrop it, or I can completely delete it. Same things over here where I can change the background color, duplicate it, or delete it. So far, I just have my text box and my image, but I don't really like this giant big space over here. So you can pick up an image or a text box and you can move it up into another section. So now I have my image and my text in the same section, and I can make it bigger, however I see fit. The next thing that I'm going to enter is I want to embed a website. So I'm just going to do GoNoodle. So there's two things I can do. I can do a whole page, like a mini preview of the whole web page, or I can just do a preview where it will show the link and they can click on it. And I just want to do a preview. So I'm going to insert that in, and there's that preview. So when I publish my web page, students or parents or whoever is viewing my web page are just going to be able to click on it and it will take them to the GoNoodle website. Notice that it's created a completely new section than this top section up here. The last thing is inserting something from your drive. So you can insert any kind of document or sheet from your Google Drive. So I am going to put my 5th grade vocabulary. So I could put my weekly words up on my website and students can directly see the words for that week. I could also change the shape of this if I needed to. Or make it longer or smaller. So that's pretty much everything that you are able to insert over here on this side. But they do have an option of layouts. So they have already pre-formatted different layouts to help you build your web page to make it more organized. So there's a bunch of different layouts here where you can do like an image, or you can do a title and then maybe a little caption below it. This just kind of helps you organize and structure yours so it doesn't look like a mess of how mine looks right now. I can also do the table of contents. So at the top of my web page, this is really the only text that I have, but if I had more text throughout my sites, it would kind of just list it out here as a table of contents. The last thing I can do under the insert is I can create a button. So if I wanted to do a GoNoodle button, I could again link it. So then on my web page, there would be a button that students could click and it would take them right to GoNoodle. So I've got my homepage ready to go, but because I teach 5th and 6th grade, I want to make 2 different pages for those grade levels. So I'm going to go up to my Pages tab, and right now I can see I only have my homepage right here. I'm going to go down to the bottom where my plus sign is, and I'm going to go to New Page, and I'm going to name this page 5th grade. So right when it loads, it's going to create a tab at the top where this home is, and now I have a 5th grade. So I can go back to my home web page, and it's going to pull up the first page that I created, and I can go back to my 5th grade page. Now I can also change my page title if I need to, or I can keep it the same as what my tab says. Again, I can do the same thing and insert all of these different things to make my web page what I want it to be. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to create a subpage. So I teach 5th grade science and social studies, so I want to create these as 2 subpages under 5th grade. So on the side, on my 5th grade page, there are the 3 dots in a line. So when I click on those, there's a couple things that I can do, but I want to add a subpage. And I'm going to name this subpage Science. So now of my tabs, it's going to look more like a drop-down. So I've got my home, and then when I hover over 5th grade, I've got my science page. So here's my main 5th grade page, and then I can go down to a science page. So this is perfect, so I can put any kind of science material under that. So I'm going to go back and recreate a social studies page. Now I'm not going to put it under the science. I'm going to make sure I put it under the 5th grade. Click on those 3 dots, add a subpage, and I'm going to make this social studies. So now any kind of social studies content that I have is going to go under this page. The same thing happened on the drop down. Now I've got a science page and a social studies page. So as I'm working, you can preview what your web page is going to look like by going up here to the top. And it looks like almost like a computer and maybe a little phone screen. And it's going to be the way that you preview it. So when I click the preview, I can really navigate around on my website and kind of look exactly how it's going to look like when I publish it. So I can kind of go to every page and make sure it's looking exactly what I want it to be. I can also see how it's going to look on a phone, on a tablet, and then just on a regular computer. When I'm done, I can click Exit the Preview, and it can go back to my editing. Now, so far, I have not published my web page up here with this button, so nobody can see it right now except for me because I have not published it yet. I can only edit it. But before I publish it, I want to go ahead and make sure that my settings are exactly what I want them to be. So just like in any other Google with Docs or anything like that, you can share this with others. So that person with the little plus sign, I'm going to click on it. And there's a couple different access rules that I can change. So the first thing I can do is I can do the draft, where I can put that this is completely public on the web and everybody can see this. Or I can turn it off to only share with specific people. Now this is when it's published. So this is really the one that I'm looking at. Right now I have it set that anyone at Graves County can find and view this. It depends what you're wanting this website for. If you just want it for something specific, you may want to do it only for certain people to view it. Anyone at Graves County is going to be anyone within our school system. And if it's for anyone outside in the world, you're going to want to put it on anyone. I'm going to do mine on specific people just because it's a practice one. I can also add an editor and invite people. So let's say I'll just have Courtney look over it for me. Now I can let her edit my site, or I can just let her view the published website. So what it's going to look like when it's an actual site. So I'm going to go ahead and send it to her and let her edit it. So I can see now who has access. Courtney's name appears, and so she can edit my site. So I think I'm ready to publish it, and I'm ready to put it out there on the internet. So I'm going to go up to my blue publish button. And when I click it, it's going to ask me to create a web address. It has already pre-formatted one for me. So here's my whole thing, sites.google/graves.kyschools.us, Ms. Gertzinger's classroom. So I can keep what they have given me, or I can change it if I need to. Again, who can view my site? I can click manage, and it brings me back up to my settings of what I had, just making sure that's what I want. So when I click publish, it is publishing my web page. And it says your site has been published successfully. So now my site is out there for the people that can view it. And right now I think I only gave viewing rights to Courtney. But I can view my published site. And I can see what it looks like. Now, after I have published it, if I decide that I want to go back and I want to change something on it, it is not going to change automatically. I'm going to have to go back up and I'm going to press publish again, and then it will change. So this is just a little bit about Google Sites. I would suggest, going through and really learning how to insert different things, looking at how to create the pages, and